being a good horse owner can be so overwhelming, and it can be really confusing sometimes to understand what's actually needed of you and what's just kind of something that we humans project our horses want from us. So in this video, we're going to help try to decipher that, try to help understand what your horse actually wants from you and what you can kind of let go of. And also, I just want to let you know, if you watch till the end, I'm going to be making a big announcement that chances are, if you clicked on this video, the next thing that's coming is going to be right up your alley. So watch till the end. And in the meantime, go ahead and put in the comments what your favorite bonding activity is with your horse. I think this is a great way to help each other, to brainstorm, and to kind of come up with some maybe new and fun ideas of how to bond with your horse and what kinds of activities you can do together. So comment there, and otherwise let's jump right into the content. So the first thing that is probably the most obvious that your horse needs, I've kind of broken these into categories. First category is their physical needs. So this, of course, is food, water, shelter, safety, well-fitting tack, and then general maintenance like hoof care, veterinary care, etc. So those are all, of course, sort of the obvious things that are easy to think about for us. However, it is also important that we look at those through the lens of a horse. So, a horse, we eat 3 meals a day, so we think our horses should eat 3 meals a day, but a horse grazes. They would prefer to eat small amounts all day long. So if you have an anxious horse, you might want to assess how and when and how often and how much you're feeding that horse. Same with like bedding. We like to think about, we like a nice, soft, comfortable bed. All a horse really wants is a place to, dry place to stand and dry place to lay down. So, they don't necessarily need their entire stall to be plush, as much as they just need a nice place to sit and lay down, especially as they get older. Not sit, horses don't sit, to stand and lay down. And then, in terms of blanketing, there was a really interesting study about horses where they actually taught the horses how to ask for blankets. Up until this point, the kind of common wisdom was like, if you're cold, then your horse is cold, which doesn't really make sense because horses live wild all over the world without blankets. So that logic doesn't really follow to me. However, what they found is that an unclipped horse didn't ask for a blanket until an average of 15 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's quite a bit colder than we would be comfortable being outside without a coat. So just something to think about, when we're meeting our horse's physical needs, kind of thinking about where the horse is coming from as opposed to where we would be comfortable, if that makes sense. Next, we're going to talk about mental needs for our horses. This is maybe a little bit harder to understand because we really have to understand the horse brain in order to understand their mental needs. A great resource for understanding the horse brain is the book Horse Brain, Human Brain. I'm blanking on the author's name, but I will link that below. I have no affiliation. I just think it's a fascinating book and something that all horse people should probably carve out some time to read. However, the mental needs we're going to talk about here today are stimulation, training, and predictability. Horses need their brains to be active just like we do. And some really great ways to do this would be enrichment activities, treat balls or other horses even, introducing your horse to new and novel things within their kind of comfort zone, and just, helping your horse's brain to be active on a daily basis instead of just kind of like leaving them in the stall and then coming out for training. It's the same training pattern every day. The flip side of that is they also do like some level of predictability. So horses don't love, leaving all their friends behind and going to an entirely new place all the time. That's a lot of stress for a horse. So having some level of predictability in terms of, generally when they'll be fed and how much, and generally your routine when you're going to ride and things like that, so that your horse can kind of settle into knowing what's coming and knowing what to expect and not kind of always be anticipating big changes. Or third and final category that we're going to be covering today is emotional needs. And when we're talking about emotional needs for our horses, they are social creatures and they are prey animals. So their need for emotional safety is quite high, like ours. However, it's a little bit different because we're predators and they're prey. So for horses, they need to have access to other social creatures. If other horses are the ideal, but if they're not available for any reason, then goats or, a mini pony or something available that they can kind of bond to and have that herd mentality with. Also, relaxation is really important for horses, making sure that they have, you know, a day off every week where they can just like go out and hang out in the pasture for a while, or go into turnout, or have a long walk, time that they can just like, their brains can, you know, be horses and relax and be calm. It's really important if we're preventing burnout. And then finally, trust and a strong bond with their rider or handler. So feeling like they know you, that you're predictable, they, you know, trust you, and they have a strong bond with you. And that again comes back to our comment section, where hopefully everyone is sharing how they like to bond with their horse and what kind of activities they like to do together. I personally like to take my horses on long walks. I think that's really refreshing and lovely, just on the ground, just going for walks. If you're going to do this, make sure you know what plants in your area are poisonous before you go, because that is really important. Yeah, long walks are great. I also like to just like put up a chair in my horse's stall and just sit there and hang out with them. I think that's really fun. And I'm also kind of more recently into trick training. Definitely be careful with this one, because you can accidentally teach the wrong kind of tricks, but it is a fun way to kind of play with your horse and kind of do things a little bit differently outside of your normal routine and structure. So check out the comments to see if other people have other ways that they like to bond with their horses and things they like to do to build trust. And also, this video is kind of a high level overview of what horses need, but if you want to go really deep into this, I have put together a course called Your First Year of a New Horse that goes really deeply into everything you need to know to be a great horse owner, and everything I know is just encapsulated really nicely here. I'm really proud of how this turned out, and if you're interested and you're watching in real time, this course will be launching Friday, March 1st, 2024, and if you're watching after the fact, don't worry if you missed, there's an initial sale period for the first week of the course, but if you missed that, don't worry about it. You can still get it with the code RDE. You'll still get 25% off. So check out, you know, all the information is in the description box below, and I'm just really excited about this, so for sure check it out, because I think it's going to really be helpful for a lot of people. And on that note, if this video is helpful for you, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share, because my mission is always to help as many horses and humans be the best possible versions of themselves, and the best way for me to do that is to share this information. So please help me spread the word, and I will see you in the next video.